Alright, well there's what it boils down to. I've got 11 caged queen cells out of what I thought I counted, 17 that had started. 11 that still are intact and caged. However, I ran into some issues. When I opened the hive up and I pulled out the grafting frame here that had all the queen cells on it, first thing I see is a hatched cell and a torn down cell. There's no reason why that queen should have hatched that early, but she did. And I looked down inside the hive, just like this, and I mean, without even trying to, looked in there and saw a virgin queen. So I went ahead, caged her real quick, and marked her. I've got her in here. Just went and put her in a release cage, and I'll use her. I'll put her in a mating nuke, just like I would a queen cell. But, you know, since she hatched out early, she destroyed a few cells. There was a second cell that I just had a second ago. I went ahead and tore the queen out and threw her on the ground, but the cell wall was torn open, but the queen inside, she wasn't completely dead. She was still kind of wiggling. But I mean, she was, she couldn't walk around or do anything, so she'd already been stung by the other queen, I imagine. I was just working on dying, more or less, and the worker bees had started tearing the cell open. But anyway, so I've got, yeah, I've got 11 queen cells there. And they also had emergency cells pulled up in the hive, even though they have a queen below the excluder, or I think they do. But so my first nuke here that I've got set up, they had an emergency cell in there that was capped off. So I went ahead and just put it into that nuke. So that, I guess that makes 12, and then with the virgin queen I have 13. So I'll try to go through my hives here and get enough bees to make up 13 nukes. We'll see what happens. Well, make that 2 virgin queens. Got 2 cages there. You can't see both the queens, but you can see the cages. I promise they're in there. Found another one. She was crawling around down inside the bottom, below the queen excluder, with the existing queen. So, I really don't know what's going on. I don't know why they broke the rules like this, why they hatched out early, why they were pulling emergency cells. It's really frustrating, but I'm going to go ahead and keep on going with what I'm doing. The only problem is it makes me, now I don't know how many of these other queen cells I have might have already been stung through the side and destroyed by these virgin queens that got out first. Hopefully none. I mean, these virgin queens, they're real young. They just hatched. I mean, they can barely even walk. So I'm not, I'm not too worried about it, but it just, can't help but think about it. So anyway, I'm going to go on and try to make up, well, I guess 13 mating nukes with 2 virgin queens and 11 cells. So we'll keep going. So we ended up with 11 mating nukes. One of those was set up, I found emergency queen cells in the grafting hive, which was not good, but, figured I'd use them and see what'll happen. So that's where I got the extra, because then I also replaced, in the other hives, I replaced 3 queens. So total of 14, I guess, changes. 3 of those were existing colonies that were requeened. This 5-frame box right here, that's where that was. It was a 10-frame deep and 10-frame medium. The medium is now over there, it's full of honey, but the 10-frame deep, I reduced it way down. I made 2 or 3 splits out of that hive. That was the aggressive one. That was the one that was overly aggressive, was chasing me to the house. And then had another one back in the back. You can't see it, but that one, it was just real flighty. They weren't really, they're jumping on and off my hands. They weren't really attacking me or pursuing me, but they were just real flighty, real runny bees. I didn't really like that, so I caught that queen, and she went into the queen lure. And then another one, the last one I did, I was shaking out for the last nuke, and I found the queen in this box right there. Not this one, but that one. Ouch. Oh, God, I just smacked my elbow on the fence. Owie. That queen was tiny, little bitty thing, and she was laying, but man, I mean, she was the size of a virgin, but she was laying eggs. Just teeny tiny little thing, and real runny and flighty too. So she went into the queen lure. So anyway, requeened 3 existing colonies and made 11 mating nukes. So we'll see. I'll try to check back in on tomorrow afternoon on each mating nuke. Just take a quick look and see, make sure it has decent activity in it, and see how many of the queen cells may have hatched, because they weren't supposed to hatch till Tuesday, but some of them were already hatching. So I got to figure out what happened on why my grafting hive accelerated, basically. I think maybe the existing queen that was in there that was supposed to make it, be queen right, I think she had a weak pheromone, and so maybe they just didn't acknowledge her as a good queen, and so they were raising emergencies anyway, because these are not good looking queen cells. But I think I'm going to give another go at grafting, and see about, I might go through all these mating nukes here in another 2 or 3 weeks have another round of grafts and just replace all their queens if I can get another good round of grafts. So anyway, that's it for now, but you know what, hey, if they all stick, I'll be looking good.